History Entrance 2014 Ethiopian Calendar Part 2. Choose the correct answer from the given alternatives. Question number 1. What does the discipline of history studies? A. Future politics. B. Contemporary cultures. C. Past human actions. D. Origin of hominids. Question number 2. Why do we study history? A. To advance the interest of our nation at the expense of others. B. To better understand contemporary societies. C. To glorify the activities of our forefathers. D. To show how the past was not different from the present.
One of the discipline of history study is past human action because history is the study of past human actions including events, ideas, institutions, and cultures. Future politics, this is not the future of history because history does not deal with the future. Contemporary cultures is the focus of anthropology rather than history, or is the concern of sociology. Origin of hominids, that is covered under paleoanthropology or archaeology, not about history. So, the correct answer for question number 1 is C. Studying history help us to better understand contemporary societies. This means to understand how current societies developed and why they function the way they do. But to advance the interest of our nation is a biased and also unethical motive. To glorify the activities, this is also not the answer because history seeks truth, not glorification. To show how the past was not different, this also incorrect because the past often differs significantly. For this reason, B is the correct answer for question number 2. Question number 3. Which one of the following is correct contrast of Egyptian and the Sumerian civilization? A. Egyptian political institutions were autocratic, while Sumerian ones were democratic. B. Egyptian civilization was built on the back of peasants, while Sumerian was dependent on its craftsmen and traders. C. Egyptian civilization was a literate civilization, while Sumerian was a civilization of illiterate bureaucrats. D. Egyptian pharaohs were semi-divine emperors, while Sumerian lugals were representative of a city's god. The correct comparison is Egyptian pharaohs were semi-divine emperors or divine emperors, while Sumerians lugals were representative of a city's god. Because Egyptian pharaohs were considered divine or semi-divine rulers often associated with gods like Horus or Amun-Ra. Both civilizations were literate because the Sumerian developed cuneiform, one of the earliest writing system, which was widely used for administration. Egyptians have also civilization, which is highly developed with writing system of hieroglyphics. For this reason, D is the correct answer. Question number 4. Which of the following is an essential principle of historical methodology? A. Giving primary to secondary than primary sources. B. Disregarding all sources that have bias in them. C. Corroborating primary sources with secondary sources. D. Establishing the authenticity of by historical documents. Question number 5. In which of the following does a date correctly corresponds with century? A. 1999, 20th century. B. 5017, the 15th century. C. 20 BC, 2nd century. D. 630 AH, 1st century AD. Question number 6. Which one of the following species of Homo developed earlier? A. Homo erectus. B. Homo habilis. C. Homo sapien. D. Homo africanus. Question number 4. Establishing the authenticity of biohistorical documents is an essential principle of historical methodology because historians must verify sources to ensure
They are genuine.
and credible. A. Giving primacy to secondary. This is no. Primary sources are preferred. B. Disregarding all biased sources. This is all sources can have bias. Historians must interpret them critically. C says that corroborating which one is important, but secondary to verifying authenticity. So D is the correct answer. 20 BC, 2nd century is the date correctly corresponded with a century.
1999, 20th century is correct, but the phrasing is inconsistent with a date. 1570 is the 15th century. This is incorrect. It is the 16th century. 630 Hijrah is 1st century AD. This is Islamic calendar. Is not equivalent to AD. So C is the correct answer. The species of Homo developed earliest is Homo habilis. It was appeared around 2.4 million years ago before Homo erectus or Homo sapiens. Homo erectus is later and also Homo sapiens most recent. Homo africanus is not Homo species. It is Australopithecus africanus. For this reason, B is the correct answer. Question number 7. What do archaeological findings tell us about the distribution of Neolithic cultures in the Ethiopian region? A. That they were limited to the border areas between Ethiopia and Eritrea. B. That they were first developed in the south and then spread to the north. C. That they were found across extensive areas of the region. D. That they originated in the north and then spread to the south. Question number 8. Which one of the following best characterizes early states? A. They tended to be guided by egalitarian principles than later states. B. They were primarily the creators of a priestly class. C. They were the main agents for spreading democratic principles. D. They tended to confer political rights to limit sections of society. As a telling of archaeological findings, Neolithic cultures in Ethiopian region were found across extensive areas of the region. So, findings show wide distribution across Ethiopia from north to south. But ABD limits the distribution which is not supported by evidence. For this reason, C is the correct answer for question number 7. Early states tended to confer political rights to limited sections of society. Often they are hierarchical societies where elites held power. So D is the correct answer for question number 8. Question number 9. What was the main achievement of the civilization of Meroe? A. Domestication of the camel. B. Smelting of iron ore. C. Building canals on the Nile. D. Invention of the plow. Question number 10. What aspect of the ancient Harappan civilization indicates that they sought to protect the health of their urban populations? A. The provision of better sewer system. B. The introduction of quarantine to fight epidemic disease. C. The registration of all mobile traders and craftsmen. D. The introduction of monthly solid waste clearing programs. Meroe was a center of iron working in Africa. So they are commonly known with smelting of iron ore. Canal activities were more for Egyptians. Ploy is not a unique achievement of Meroe, and also domestication of the camel happened elsewhere earlier. For this reason, the answer for question number 9 is B. The provision of better sewer system was the aspects of the ancient Harappan civilization indicates. Harappians had advanced urban sanitation, especially drainage and sewer systems. B, C, and D are no evidence supports